But is this really a shameful thing though? Praying for your husband, especially as a single person. Even me sometimes in the church, when I feel the need to say a prayer for my husband, I always reduce my voice to the barest minimum because I don't want anybody to hear me. Because if they hear me, they might look at me and be like, in fact, it's not even might. They will look at me and they will be like, are you jobless? You don't even have a man, so what's your problem? The Bible says, pray without ceasing. I've seen the way God moves. I've seen Him move over my life. I have goals that I'm yet to attain, and I'm seeing the way God is moving, hovering all over around it. Who else will I want God to hover all around if not my husband? Getting married is one of the biggest decisions that anybody can make. And I don't want to sound partial, but I feel like it's more of a big deal for a woman than it is for a man. I mean, it should be a big deal for both actually. But because of the way we've been designed, it takes a lot more intentionality for a man to prioritize his marriage over his work. But most times, women, we naturally prioritize our family and marriage over work because of the way we've been designed. Looking at this from a woman's perspective is one of the biggest decisions that we can ever make. No matter how tall the height we attain is, if we choose wrongly, or if we don't know how to treat the right person that we've chosen, it's so easy to fall from that height. And you will not be falling alone. You and your husband, you will join together like this and you'll be falling together. There's nobody on earth without imperfections. And I believe the right time to start placing that imperfection in front of God is now, especially when we are still single. That imperfection of our husbands, even if we don't know it, let's start placing it in front of God, because the decisions that these people take has a huge impact over our lives, and vice versa. The decisions that we take have a huge impact over our marriage. Let's start talking to God about these men. Let's start talking to God about them. Let's talk to God about their emotions. Let's talk to God about their hearts. Let's talk to God about their perspective of things. Let's talk to God about their spiritual health. Let's talk to God about their sexual desires. Let's talk to God about their goals. Let's talk to God about their distress. Let's talk to God about their problems. You don't have to know it. In fact, if you are in the Spirit, you can start to even know. That's how wild it is. The Holy Spirit can start to open your eyes to know what the distress of your husband is, and you don't even know what your husband is yet. It's that wild. But one thing I know for sure is that you, as your husband's wife, there is no way you will table your husband's matter in the presence of God and he will not listen to you. One of the things he tells me is, you are his wife. There's nobody I want to hear that prayer from more than I want to hear it from you. And I'm throwing that to you too. You are his wife. You don't know him yet. Don't worry, you still know him. So let's just use faith, eh? Let's use faith. See, this work with God is faith that we are eating faith. We will know him, especially if you are desiring marriage. You will know him. But start talking to God about him. It's not too early. Don't think, well, maybe when we meet, you will still meet. But before you meet, what are these things that you want to see? Start sowing that seed now. One of the Bible verses I love so much is Proverbs 21 verse 1. It says that the king's heart is like channels of water in the hands of the Lord. He turns it whichever way he pleases. So this means that even if there's something about my husband or something about your husband that is not really good, he is a king. Our husbands are kings because we are crown bearers. Do you get it? So he is a king. And whatever it is that he's doing that does not sit well with God, or that will not sit well with me, God sees it ahead of time, and he himself will change that act so he can start to do what please God, and which will eventually please us. Let's talk to God about this men, and not only for selfish reasons but because of they themselves. I feel like men are going through a lot. I mean, we all are, but I just feel like for a man it's a lot more, because the way the society has conditioned them to be, or to look, or to talk, or to act, or to behave, really affects a lot of things. Start talking to God about your husband. Start sowing good seed inside his life. In fact, you will see it. When people meet like this, you will see that the seed that you've sown is already germinating. Of course, there's still going to be more to pray about, because there's still more to see. But all I'm trying to say is that not a single drop of water that you pour into the land or into the seed that you are growing inside your husband's life is a waste. You will see it germinate.